So in this video, we're going to talk about one significant way of actually sabotaging your success when it comes to establishing new habits and bringing yourself to a higher level of expertise and skill. Whenever you see somebody dancing really nicely, dancing really well, or you see someone that has clearly put in a lot of time and effort to become good at something, whether that's a really great marksman with guns, or whether that's a really great speaker, and you can tell that they're a really great speaker or a really great salesperson. When you see these things, typically people will think about that in the way that I'm about to highlight right now. And that's this. Some people think, oh, well, wow, that's like really cool. And they put it on a pedestal. Or they think, oh, wow, like I could never do that. Like, for example, I saw this guy doing like the cha-cha or the barachata. I don't know. It's like a Spanish dance, right? And he's just fucking killing it. He's moving around, he's spinning, he's doing all this cool stuff with his feet, and then he takes his girl and he's doing all this stuff, with like the coolest confidence and just having a blast. And I didn't think, oh man, I couldn't do that. But I know that other people would. And I started having this conversation with a friend, and I'm like, isn't it interesting how no matter what it is that you, like, he wasn't born with that, right? Like, he had to learn how to do that. And the truth is that anybody can learn how to get good at anything. Like, nobody is born as a great speaker. Nobody is born as a great salesperson, etc., etc. These are all things that people have to put the time, practice, effort, and energy into. But like, how cool is that? How cool is it to know that all it requires is to you put in the practice? This was a significant breakthrough for me today, because I discovered that, anything that we want to be good at, anything at all, it's actually not hard to do. All it takes is putting the reps in, putting the time in, putting the energy and the effort and the practice in. Like, that's all it takes. But here's the interesting part about this whole video here. And that's that it's like, when people see this, what normally goes through a lot of people's minds is, oh, well, I couldn't do that. My mom tells it to me all the time. She always tells me, and if you ask her, she'll tell you, oh, I wish I could just travel to another country solo by yourself. Like, I wish I could go do things by myself like you do. And I always tell her, well, you can. It's just a matter of taking that first step, trying it out, and just getting used to it. Just putting the reps in, putting the time in. And eventually what's uncomfortable becomes comfortable. And whatever you're not skilled at and incompetent at, you become competent and skillful at the more that you do it. Right? But it's just like, people look at things and they think, oh, well, he's lucky, or, oh, like, with that amount of success, like, I'm not fill in the blank, Rihanna, or I'm not Celine Dion, like, I could never sing like her. But the truth is that you can, and you can possibly even sing better if that was something that you wanted to learn, and you had the amount of time and tenacity and grit willing. You had what it takes to actually be willing to put the time and energy in and fucking commit and be consistent in your practice. And that's all that it takes. That's all that it takes to be great. And yet we do this thing where we elevate others when they're good at certain things, and that's cool, but not to the point of putting them on a pedestal where you feel like they're better, or you feel like they have something that you don't, or that they can do something that you can't. And it's very interesting to make that observation that, wow, when we see somebody that's great at something, even if it's something we've never considered being great at before, how often does that story come up where we start to shoot it down? Or we start to have this limiting belief that we couldn't do that, or that it would be so hard, or that we put this person on a pedestal. You know what all those are symptoms of? Those are symptoms of insecurity and an unhealed worth issue, which you could say are one and the same, or at least they're connected. But that's what that is. All it is the tall tale sign of how you see yourself and how you feel about yourself and what you feel you're capable of and what you feel you're worthy of. That's all that is. But isn't it interesting how society does that? How when in truth it's really very simple. It's simply just a matter of whatever it is you want to learn. All it takes is putting in the practice and being consistent in your practice on a daily basis. When you think of a master martial artist, he doesn't practice and go to practice once a week. He practices every single day. When you see somebody who's blown up their YouTube channel, some people do it in different various ways. You could say once a week, but the people that really know how to do it and that have actually gotten those results, how they got big was they did it every single day. And so that's what I'm here doing right now. I have a challenge and I'm committed to doing this once a day, every single day, where I'm making a YouTube video and I'm putting it out. And I want you to come back and see this at some point along this 30-day journey, because I'm going to continue doing it after those 30 days. And it is a tall commitment. It is a tall order. But this is what I want for myself. But besides that, I want you to come back and visit because I want you to see the magic of applying something every single day that you want to get better at, that you want to be skilled at, and that you want to have expertise in, and more results, expansion. And so I'm also going to hold that challenge for myself and come back and watch this at the end of this 30 days and see just how I've grown, how I've matured, versus if I did this once a week for the next 4 weeks. We're talking 4 videos versus 30 videos. So whatever it is that you want to get good at, just my encouragement for you is, number one, to heal up that worth issue. Heal up the worth issue. Start learning how to have, and if you want to learn how to heal up your worth issue, if you want to learn, how to have more love and acceptance for yourself, if you want to learn how to be kinder to yourself, gentler to yourself, and start believing and trusting in yourself, then definitely reach out to me and click the link in the bottom. Let's set up a conversation and I can show you how to do that. But my encouragement for you is, number one, heal up the worth issue. And if you don't know how, find somebody like myself or someone else who can teach you how to do that. But number two, believe that you actually can have that. And all it takes is just practice, just putting in the reps. Just put the reps in. Do the practice once a day, and you'll see those results will flourish.